Hey guys, it's Austin from MadFire Productions, and you may know me as a MadFireGamer, but that doesn't necessarily mean video games or board games. I also love sports, especially baseball. Tigers, best team ever. Yeah, I love the Tigers, and these are the reasons why the 2014 Tigers will succeed this coming season. Now, the Tigers have a lot of questioners out there, like people think they're gonna fail and everything. They're not. Yeah, they don't have any more. They lost Prince Fielder with his power. They did gain Ian Kinsler and a lot of other players, but I mean, just because they lost Prince Fielder, yeah, they lost power, but they're gonna have a whole new revamped offense this season. The Tigers, freaking Nicholas, get out, are gonna be a faster team now. I mean, I know Ian Kinsler, he has some power, and I know that did come at the Rangers ballpark, but he will have some power at Comerica Park, and he's going to probably steal about 30 bases. Now let's go to left field real quick. We have a platoon of Andy Dirks and Rajai Davis. Rajai Davis is one of the fastest players in the entire MLB, actually. He can steal over 40 or 50 bags in a season. Yes, his age is going to catch up with him, because he's, I think, about 32, 33 now. But he's still going to be fast. I mean, he's probably going to hopefully steal maybe 35 to 40 bags, and that's amazing for a platoon player that only is going to bat against the left-handers. And his defense is pretty good. Now we have Andy Dirks. Yes, he had a disappointing season last year, but he was injured for most of the season. So now, if he can replicate what he did in 2012, batting, I believe it was 322, he'll probably won't need a platoon for a while, but he will not get as many as bats as an everyday player, obviously, because he's a platoon player. However, he could probably, I believe Dirks could hit about 285 to 290, probably with double-digit homers, not a lot, maybe 10, 11, but Dirks has speed. He hasn't shown it yet because his legs have been injured lately, but he has speed. He could probably steal about 25 to 30 bags. I doubt that's going to happen, though. Even though the Tigers are going to be a running team, he'll probably steal about 15 to 20 just in case, because his legs might not be 100% yet, but we'll see. And he does have a little bit of pop, like I mentioned. And he's one of the best defending left fielders out there. He was nominated for a Gold Glove. So, what's to tell you? Center field, we're back with Austin Jackson. He's not going to be leading off now, though. That'll go to Ian Kinsler. And Torrey Hunter will still probably be batting second, I would imagine. Well, he should be. But Jackson will probably go to, I'm guessing, probably sixth in the order. We'll see. I mean, Jackson has done well as a leadoff hitter. He hasn't done great, but he has done well. In his on-base percentage isn't what you want a left-handed, or a leadoff hitter to be, but he is a nice bat, and he has speed. I know last year, I don't know what happened with his speed, but he just was like, I'm not going to run. But now, with Brad Ausmus, Jackson will probably get maybe 20, 25 stolen bases, just because if he is batting sixth in the order, you could have Cabrera, Martinez on base and that. But if not, he maybe could get to 35, 40. I doubt it, but we'll see. I'm guessing more along the lines of 25 stolen bases. Plus, he has shown power. 16 home runs in 2012. He could probably, I'm guessing, probably get about 15, more than likely. So, and even though I believe he has not been nominated for Gold Glove, he is one of the best center fielders in the game. I don't know why he hasn't been nominated for a Gold Glove, but he is one of the best center fielders in the game. Tons of range, great glove. No, he doesn't get off his feet very much, as in jumping or diving, but when he does, he makes amazing plays. Now, the right field was Torrey Hunter. This will be his more than likely last season in Detroit, let alone his last season in the bigs. One of the best defenders out there. Great number 2 hitter. All-star with us last year. Probably going to see a little more stolen bases. He only had, I want to say, about 4 last year. So he might get about 10 or so because he's going into his age 40 season, I believe. So, but with him not relying too much on base pass, his batting average has been going up. Yes, his power's been going down, but last year he actually hit more home runs than he had a couple seasons previously. So we'll see what happens there, but we got Torrey Hunter again back in the lineup. First base, going back to Miguel Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera, best player in the entire MLB? Yes. MVP, 12. MVP, 13. All-star for many past seasons. I mean, the only problem is he is a pretty poor defender at first. His fielding percentage is not great there, but it's Miguel Cabrera. What he doesn't do at first, he's going to make up with his bat, okay? So, no need to worry about Miguel Cabrera at all. Yes, with Fielder gone, he'll probably get walked a lot more. But, if you remember, before we had Fielder, Martinez did amazing behind Cabrera. So, there's that. Then, on the second base, you have Ian Kinsler, who will not hit for as much power as he did in Texas, in Arlington. He will probably get between 10 to 15 home runs, I'm guessing, but he'll probably steal 30 to 35 bags. He's an all-right second baseman. He has great range. He may not be like the best fielder at second, but he grades out better than Omar Infante did recently, and he'll help still stabilize a second base that has been the Tigers' weakness lately before we got Infante in 2012. But we do have a couple prospects to look at second. That's why the Ian Kinsler trade is kind of odd, because we have Hernan Perez, we have Devon Travis, and we also have Harold Castro, who doesn't get mentioned very often, but he is a nice second base prospect. All three of them are very nice second basemen. Devon Travis is ranked number 5 in second base prospects. So, I mean, he hit, I believe it was about 355, or around there, with 16 homers, 22 stolen bases. I mean, that is great. I mean, watch Devon Travis. Now, Perez, he's not the best hitter. I mean, his batting average has been going up. He doesn't really have any power, but he does have speed. He will steal bases, and he is a very nice defender. And then Castro has been shown to be a nice hitter. He hasn't been around too long or played too many full seasons, so can't really get a good retrospect of him yet. But so far, he's been a very good hitter, average-wise. Going over to shortstop will be with Jose Iglesias, who I know doesn't have really any power, and he probably got lucky hitting over 300 last year, because he's never been the greatest hitter, even in the minors. But he'll probably, for years to come, be one of the best defensive shortstops to ever play the game. I mean, he's been said to be like Omar Vizquel, who might be the best shortstop to ever play in the MLB. So, I mean, that's pretty good. And also, Iglesias wants to steal bases. Nobody ever let him has let him steal bases. So maybe this year we could see Iglesias steal maybe 20 bags. I mean, he has the speed to do it, but nobody's ever given him the chance. Maybe because his base running instincts aren't great, but why not just try it a couple times and see what happens? And then also we have our backup shortstop, who we acquired from Washington, in Steve Lamberdosi Jr., who, very nice defender, has shown the ability to hit in the majors. He only hit about 251 last year, but, I mean, he's a backup. I mean, he can play shortstop, he can play third, he can play second, he can play the outfield. So he'll be a nice backup player. Not much power, but he does have speed. He can run. Over to third, our top prospect, Nick Castellanos, is going to be starting at third. I mean, he's going to go back to third he is a natural third baseman. Well, he was drafted as a shortstop, moved to third, went to left, went back to third. So, they say he's a good defender at third, and he says he wants to play third. So, we'll give him that. He has a nice arm to play third. In the minors, his batting average has been very good. Last year, he's shown his ability to hit for some power. He's a poor runner, unfortunately, but that doesn't really matter. I mean, third basemen usually tend to be poor runners, so it's not that big of a deal. But top prospect Nick Castellanos, anyone from number 30 to number 9, so we'll see. We'll see that helps him at all. Catcher, Alex Avila is going to be our starter. Now, I like Avila. He is a good defender at catcher and has a nice arm. Last year, he was all right there. But in 2011, starting catcher in the All-Star game, 295 batting average the entire season, with I believe it was 16 home runs. He has shown he can hit in the majors. Hopefully he can do it this year because lately it's been pretty poor how he's been hitting. But I believe Alex Avila can do it. He's a nice left-handed power bat, and that's good to have in your lineup, especially with Fielder gone. Behind him is more than likely going to be the nice defensive catcher and Brian Halladay, but in spring training there is going to be a competition between him and our top catching prospect in James McCann. McCann has hit all right in the minors. He's had a good year and a bad year. His defense is pretty good. Holladay's is better, though, and Holladay's has some major league experience, so I believe it'll be Brian Halladay backing up Avila this year, with McCann probably going to be at AAA Toledo. Now, we have Don Kelly. Nobody ever really talks about Kelly, but he's one of the best backups in the entire game. He has played every single position, including pitcher and catcher in the major leagues. And he's a left-handed bat. That is nice right there. And all of those positions he's played at, good defensively. All of the positions. You don't get that very often. Yes, he mostly plays in the outfield and does a very nice job. But when he plays in the infield, he'll still get those plays for you. And Kelly is a clutch hitter. So, with the Tigers going to be trying to win the World Series this year, Kelly will be coming up in those instances. Can't think of the freaking word right now. So, we got that right there. Now we move over to our designated hitter, V. Mart. Now, his age is catching up with him, but slowly. So, his power is dwindling, and he can't really play catcher anymore, but he still hits for batting average. Look at last year. He came back from surgery. Yes, he started off bad, but then just shot through the roof. Victor Martinez is a great DH. And he'll be very nice backing up Barrera once again. Look at his numbers back in 2011 when he was backing up Cabrera. They were astounding. So, got that right there. So that'll be nice. I'm probably not going to really talk about the prospects right now, but I did a little bit a second. So, okay, on to pitching. Okay, debating what I'll start with rotation because the bullpen will take a long time to talk about. So, rotation. You have Verlander. You have Sanchez. You have Porcello. You have Scherzer. And then you have Drew Smyly. So we at least have a lefty back in our rotation, which I'm happy. I'm a stern believer in having at least one left-handed starting pitcher. So, and now we have 2 Cy Young winners. We have Verlander, 2011 Cy Young and MVP winner. And now we have Scherzer, 2013 Cy Young winner. Obviously American League. So, and then you have Anibal Sanchez, who was actually 4th in American League Cy Young pitching last season. I don't think a lot of people realize that, but he was. He should have been an all-star too, but that's a whole nother video probably. Then Porcello. I'm going to talk about Porcello mainly first because with our revamped infield, Porcello is going to have a breakout season. His ERA is going to be the best it's ever been. So, because he's a ground ball pitcher, he loves to throw his sinkers, and now he has a curveball. So, those are going to be on the ground. And with our awesome defense in the infield now, those balls aren't going to get past him very easily like they have been lately. Porcello is going to do amazing this season. His ERA, I still believe it'll be above 3, but it's probably going to be about 3.2, I would imagine. Okay, Verlander. Not great last season, not Verlander-esque, but it's Justin Verlander. He's going to bounce back. I actually don't think he's going to be the opening day starter this year, though. That'll be explained later. But Verlander, he's going to come back, pitch over 200 innings, have over 200 strikeouts, have double-digit wins again, single-digit losses. Verlander's going to come back and be Verlander again. There's nothing ever going to happen like in 2008. That's never going to happen again. Last year, it was all right. It wasn't great, obviously. It wasn't Verlander-esque, but it wasn't bad for a starting pitcher, really. So, Scherzer. I believe Scherzer will be the opening day starter. I mean, he won the Cy Young Award last year. I know he hasn't had the best numbers in his career, but he's had good numbers. And I mean, he won the Cy Young last year. I know Verlander has been longer than him. He's been better than him, really. But because of last season, I think Scherzer should and will start on opening day this coming 2014 season. So, I mean, 2013 Cy Young winner. Amazing strikeout numbers. Look at the wins. 21-3. That's great. I mean, would have been awesome if we got more wins, but the stupid losses. Probably because of our infield then. So, now, Drew Smyly. He has started in the majors before, back in 2012. Did do well, then started tapering off, but we went to the bullpen and did very well, ended up with a 3.99 ERA. Last year, bullpen whole season, did amazing. He did have all-star caliber reliever numbers. I mean, very good strikeout to walk ratio. I mean, his ERA was in, I believe, the high twos, like 2.84 or something like that. And he's a left-hander. Always have a left-hander in starting rotation, I say. Always. So, he's not overpowering, but he's going to strike you out. And then, Anibal Sanchez. He has a deceptive delivery, very good numbers, very good strikeout numbers, doesn't walk a lot. Nobody ever really mentions him. Why? I mean, in his rookie season, he threw a no-hitter. His rookie season. That doesn't happen very often. I mean, with his deceptive delivery, he's going to strike you out. He doesn't overpower you always. He can get his fastball up there a little bit. But, I mean, it's Anibal said nobody fourth in Cy Young voting last year. Fourth. And I mean, if he hadn't got injured, he would have been in the All-Star game. Okay, now, on to the bullpen. Closer. We got Joe Nason. One of the best closers to ever play in the MLB. One of the best closers. Yes, he's older. However, apparently he's like a fine wine. Gets better with age. I mean, last year, All-Star. I mean, I think that was his age 38 or 39 season. And he still gets his fastball up to, I believe, 94 or 95. I mean, he is still a great closer. I mean, Mariano Rivera was an amazing closer up until he just retired. That's going to be the same with Joe Nason. I mean, just obviously not as good as Mariano Rivera, but pretty close. Now, the setup man, probably going to be Al Albuquerque, I would imagine, and probably actually Phil Koch or maybe even Chamberlain. I know they say Chamberlain's probably going to be a setup man, but I don't know if I'll see that happening. But we'll talk about that later. But Al Albuquerque, he'll strike you out with his slider. He actually has two sliders. One that he has this amazing slider, which is and you strike out. Then he has a pretty normal slider actually, and then his fastball, 96, 97 miles per hour. He'll come at you with that, and then he'll just throw that slider, and you don't know what the heck he just did. However, Albuquerque does walk people. He walks a lot of people. That's the only unfortunate thing. He can get his ERA low, he can get his strikeout numbers high, but he can also get his walk numbers high. Now, Phil Koch. He's had good major league moments. I mean, he's a left-hander that can throw 95, even 96. But I don't know what's been going on with him lately. I mean, his ERA has been high past couple seasons. They tried him as a starter. That didn't pan out. But, I mean, it's 95, 96 mile per hour fastball that's keeping him around. And in the postseason in 2012, he did very well as our closer. But then we tried having him close in 2013, fell apart, and never regained himself. Jabba Chamberlain. He was the Yankees poster child. He didn't fare very well. Not a lot of people in the Bronx liked him. However, he kept getting injured. He can regain his form. He can throw his high 90s fastball and get the hitters out. He just has to stay healthy. That's his only problem, is he gets injured a lot. And then he can't regain himself once he comes back. Then, one of the pitchers we acquired in the Doug Fister trade, Ian Kroll. High 90 mile per hour fastball, left-hander. He'll probably be the left-handed specialist this coming season. So, and he's taking Jose Valverde's number. Hopefully that doesn't curse him. Sorry, Valverde. But, I mean, Ian Kroll, he hasn't played in too many Major League games, around 20 or so. And his ERA was in the 3.9s, but, I mean, it's his first taste of Major League experience. So, he's going to be a rookie left-hander in the bullpen for a contender. We'll see how that works. He's probably just going to be a left-handed specialist, though, so he's obviously not going to have too much pressure on him like Castellanos is going to have as a starting third baseman. Taking over for Miguel Cabrera, of course. Now we have Bruce Rondon. Really, we have 4 or 5 candidates for setup men, and Rondon's one of them. But I don't know if you want to pressure him so much as a setup man already. Maybe put him in the 7th inning. I know they're probably going to put Albuquerque there, or even Koch, but Rondon, probably 7th inning would be better for him. 101 mile per hour fastball, easy movement. Can just replicate it like that. He has had problems with walk in the past, but those are going down. His strikeouts are going up. When he first came to the majors last year, it was pretty bad, but then he settled down, did it very well, but then he got injured. Unfortunately, was left off the Tigers' postseason roster. But he is still our closer of the future. 101, 102, 103 mile per hour fastball strike you out right there. He's probably going to be an all-star closer for years to come. But as of right now, he won't be probably a closer till 2016 or even 17, so we'll just have to wait. But he's still going to be very, very good. And now the last spot in the bullpen is going to be a probably pretty big competition with the NRIs we have, non-roster invitees to spring training, and the players we already have on the 40-man roster in Jose Alvarez, Luke Putkonen, Evan Reed, and Jose Ortega. Those 4 are going to be the more likely to make it onto there. Oh, shoot, and I forgot, Casey Crosby also. Because we kind of need a long inning reliever. And for that, you have Crosby, you have Alvarez, and really, just those two. Yes, Reed and Pekkonen have started in the minors before, but Reed would be a lot more than Luke Pekkonen, but I still see Reed as maybe middle reliever, not long inning. I mean, Reed will. I mean, Pekkonen throws a nice 96, 97 mile hour fastball, also with a nice movement. But, I mean, he was a starter in the minors and didn't fare well. Reed, same with him as well. Ortega, nice, like 98, 99 mile per hour fastball. Walks a lot, though. That's the problem we get. That's like the problem we're getting, isn't it? Walks a lot. Alvarez, starter in the minors, fared all right, did very well last year. In his major league debut, he was amazing as a starter. But it's probably going to be down to those four guys for that final spot in the bullpen. So, all those are the reasons why I think the Tigers will succeed this year. However, when I say succeed, I don't mean winning the World Series. It pains me to say it, but I actually do not see them winning the World Series. Maybe getting to the World Series, but I see them making to the Championship Series again and probably losing again. It pains me to say that. I love the Tigers, but look at the teams we had these past seasons. I mean, I know we have the speed instead of power now and a better defense, but it's going to be very challenging. I mean, we have nearly an entirely new coaching staff with the exception of two coaches. So I see them faring very well, but I don't know if I see them winning the World Series, unfortunately. But I hope you enjoyed this and found it informative, so I thank you.